Get.
And look at Gabe. He's got all
Here
his
we
neat
go.
toys behind him. And
All right, before we start, I just want to
send you my love tonight. All right. Welcome, everybody, to a special episode of the Get Geeked Podcast. As you can see, we have more than one person now. We have three. We have this weird bearded guy aside.
Yes.
And then at the bottom there, all by himself, is... I don't know. Who are you?
Froze.
Introduce yourself. Come on now.
Oh, me. My name's Matt.
That was a great introduction.
I'm Matt, and I'm an alcoholic. Oh wait, wrong meeting. Sorry.
This is a menage a trois of our gaming team, basically. three of the wait, how many do we have? 5, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it's gonna be hard getting used to this voice, Gabe. Just letting you know.
Oh, for reals? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I
forgot to change it. There we go. There we go. We're back to normal.
Just leave it.
Yeah, we should have just not said anything.
But yeah, we're missing one. We're missing two. One is he's probably too busy partying with his friends.
Yeah. Jay's very popular
because he has so many friends, and the other one's probably high somewhere. I don't know. But yes, and we're all here right now, or I guess we're gonna talk PCs. I don't know, whatever you guys want to talk about.
I like me some PC.
Jason here has convinced us all, or just us two here, to go PC, which is kind of crazy. I don't know. He spent like a whole year doing it too. But he got Matt going there before I am, and because Matt already has one built.
Yeah, I had to do it. I've been wanting to do it for a long time, and then Jason's consistent and relentless badgering. I was like, well, I spent a lot more than that on other things for that weren't as nearly as fun, so I figured, what the hell? I love it. It's great.
And now it's the best thing
PC
ever.
Master Race.
Ooh. So tell us your build, though, man. What is your build?
Mine? It's what did I put in that thing? It's just AMD 3700X. I got 32 gigs of RAM at 3600 megahertz. The motherboard's nothing special, just like a regular B450. And then I did put in one of those 1 terabyte NVIe solid state drives that goes right into the motherboard. And then just a NVIDIA 1660 for the graphics card.
Nice. Now here's a question. If you're gaming, do you need 1 terabyte SSD, or can you get away with 500 or 500 gig, or is it? Yeah, 500 gigabytes.
I mean, I imagine it just depends on how much stuff you're gonna like. Call of Duty, if you get multipass and Warzone, it's gonna eat up like half the hard drive.
That's true.
So it just depends.
Call of Duty's huge.
Yeah.
So it just all depends on what kind of game you're playing, basically.
But then, like Fall Guys, I think is 3 gigs. So if you're just playing Fall Guys in Warzone, then you're good. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess really, to me, I'm going to buy another one, an external probably to plug in and just, if I overflow. But I mean, if you're like somebody who plays a lot of different games and stuff, then I don't know if the NVIe is the way to go because they're so expensive. Like maybe buy like a 3 terabyte or, whatever, however many gigs you can get, how many terabytes you can get on like a traditional solid state and save some cash, because those NVIEs, I don't even know if you can get more than a couple terabytes. And once you get above 1 terabyte, the prices get stupid. So.
Oh yeah. No, I mean 1 terabyte's good to start. I mean, like, because like if you're like a main build should already. I mean, to me, I think 1 terabyte's good to have. I was just wondering if you could get away with like a 5 gigabytes just to like save you some money on the first run, and then later on just buy extra space.
I think so.
External?
I would say
if it's just a couple games.
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now, really, I don't even play that many other games except for Warzone. That's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I just have one game and that's really all I'm playing, and then like maybe Fall Guys is like super small, it should fit. And if they get any other new releases, then just get an external and attach it to it. I don't know. I'm just a cheap bastard. I just want something affordable.
Dude, when I was getting ready to build the first one I put together in my cart was like $600 and something bucks, and it was like, but like then I'm like, well, but what about this? I want to have more of this, and well, if I'm gonna do that, and the next thing I know, it was like I was trying to fight just to keep it to like 1,200. So I don't know. It's crazy, dude. It's like simple, but then it gets stupid real quick because there's so many variables. Like I was gonna do like 64 gigs of RAM at one point, and Jason's like, "Why are you gonna do 64 gigs?" And I'm like, "I don't know. God damn it, I don't even know." Well, I just want it.
RAM is good if you're gonna have multiple applications open, and like say if you decide to go streaming, but I mean if you're not a streamer you don't need it. But if you are streaming, you're gonna have like OBS open, you're gonna have your game open, and then you're gonna have like YouTube open, or Twitch or whatever platform you're streaming to open. So then like that high RAM is helpful. But if you're just playing the game, you don't really need that high of a RAM.
Right. I got multiple stuff going when I usually end up having multiple windows open. But I still don't think I don't think I even need 32 gigs of RAM probably, but I don't know. It's nice. I just like to have the headroom. You know what I mean? Just in case.
It's good to have. I mean, like it's comfortable to have,
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I really need. Jason, were you drinking a tall boy of Rockstar right there?
It's a tall boy. You got yourself there a tall boy. But because my old phone had low RAM and that shit sucked having multiple applications open. But my new phone has high RAM. And that shit is so smooth that I could be running YouTube and another application at the same time, and it's fucking like amazing. I don't know.
On your phone?
Yeah, on the phone, bro.
What do you got? Like one of those fancy Galaxy
S20? Yeah.
20? It's up to 20 now?
Yeah.
God dang.
That shit runs so smooth though, dude. No lag on anything. So cool.
Oh shit! It should. That phone probably cost $1,000 more than my PC.
It's basically as strong as a fucking like shitty PC.
Well, Samsung does have that. Dang, I forgot what it's called now. It's called like Dex or something like that. It's pretty much it's a little dock you pop your phone into and you put it up to monitor, and it pretty much runs like a PC at that point. Yeah.
Dude, I went down a rabbit hole of fucking watching these tech things, and they got this small little box that you could connect your phone to, and then it holograms onto your and everything's touch screen on the hologram. So like
those Bluetooth things? Yeah.
You
like Tony Stark.
Yeah, dude. I was like, what the fuck? I want that. Like it's probably expensive as hell, but I was like, damn, dude, that shit's nice.
That's crazy, dude.
Because like it's just holograms out, and then you can just touch it with like I don't know, it's fucking nutty. But I want to be in the future. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, bro. The sex androids are just around the corner.
I know, man.
We're just moments away.
I want that hologram sex, bro.
Well, we were just talking about that the other night. That Demolition Man, remember? Mm-hmm. The seashells or whatever.
Yeah. Or who brought that up? I don't know. I think it was Jay. But looks like Matt froze. Oh, there he goes. He's back. Oh wait, he's still frozen. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, like froze on me. What the heck's going on? Can you guys hear me now?
Shitty laptop, bro.
It's a solid state. It's only like a year old. It's an okay one. Yeah, I probably can't handle all this. If I had the room, I would be doing this on my computer, but I don't have anywhere to put it right now. So it's like next to the TV. It's really stupid.
It's all good. I mean, you're moving soon. Are you gonna have like your own man cave or?
Dude, the house we're buying has a little den, and it's all mine. It's gonna have my sim rig, my the whole shebang.
See, that's gonna be tight.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm like, finally, this house we're in now is like small, so it's like there's nowhere to put anything. I'm like, I should have really waited to build the PC till we moved, but I just didn't want to. I wanted it. I've been waiting a while. I said, I'm getting it. I don't even care.
But like, you don't even, or I mean, is it like built? Like, are you actually playing it right now?
Yeah. I've been racing on it, downloading mods like insane, and then last night I played the most Call of Duty in the most white trash way possible. I was using my thigh my thigh was the mouse pad, and I was using a wireless mouse, and then I had a wireless keyboard over on the coffee table, and I was trying to play Call of Duty mouse and keyboard like that. It was really bad. but I wanted to see how it looked. I wanted to see how it looked on the computer. It looks really, really, really good. It looks like I can't wait until the only thing I'm worried about is I got a bit of arthritis in my left wrist, and so I'm like doing that WSD to move around. I was like, dude, this I could feel it. So I'm like, I don't know if there's a certain way I can play that's more ergonomical, or if I'm gonna end up having to go to control or something.
You need a wrist rest.
Yeah, a wrist rest. Mm-hmm. That's what I was saying. Or they have these. It's like a glove, but it's like fingerless gloves that goes all the way down to your wrist. Yeah. And it's supposed to. I don't know what it does really, but it helps out with the arthritis when it's for typing.
Yeah.
But
okay.
But you could use it the same for gaming, because gaming and typing is kind of same shit.
Bobby Poff actually has one on his Twitch page. He has a link to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, because my left wrist is pretty jacked. I have this thing, this compression thing I'll put on when it starts getting real sore. But I was doing that keyboard and mouse, man, and my left hand, and I was just dude, after about 10 minutes, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to end up being gnarly. I got to figure, I know there's something. Yeah, some sort of wrist thing. And then I'm sure a better keyboard too. Also the way I was sitting, you know what I mean? Everything about it. So I'm thinking once I get set up and then figure out, I think I'll be able to do it a better, I'll figure out something. And then I need a gaming mouse too with all the extra buttons. So that way I can put some of my stuff on the gaming mouse too. You know what I mean?
Steel series looks amazing.
Yeah,
Matt's gonna go off the deep end on all this. It's gonna be funny.
Well, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely want one of those gaming mouses that have a bunch of buttons on it, so I can put a bunch of the quick stuff. You know what I mean? So I don't have to use my. Because I was M on the map. I had to put my finger. Here's the WSD over here, and then map was way over here. So I was like, oh wait, we can't do that anymore.
But yeah, the gaming mouse is mad important, because you get fucking map shit onto your mouse that's makes everything so much easier. I don't know. I have zero experience with mouse and keyboard, but I'm assuming that's basically what it is. But I mean, also if you get too tired of it, you could also always just try connecting a controller to your PC and playing controller on PC.
Yeah, that's the good part. You just USB cable your controller and you're good. No setup or anything.
Mine hooked up through the Bluetooth. Xbox controller.
Bluetooth does a little bit of lag. That's the only thing.
You're gonna have mad lag, and you're just gonna die more than we usually do.
I was reading something last night, and they were saying that even though your monitor, I'm using my living room TV. So it said even though your TV or monitor or whatever might only be 60 hertz, it said to max out your frame rate in the game settings, because even if your monitor or TV can't handle that, it's still I guess it still will get rid of lag. So you're still supposed to max it out. So and then turn off VSync, because VSync will get your game to try to sync up with your TV, and it'll create lag. But I thought that was kind of interesting that even without being able to see the frame rate and the smoothness, you'll still take care of lag with that. So
yeah, Linus Tech Tips did a whole video on that where he invited Shroud and Grim and someone else, and they tested it, and it does a lower frame rate monitor, but higher frame rate computer actually looks better and is smoother than doing a lower frame rate computer and a lower frame rate monitor.
Right.
What? So you gotta do that shit backwards for it to be like running smoothly?
Well, no, it's just if you can still, even though you're maxing out on your monitor, it's still good to get overpower it pretty much.
Right. Even though you can't see the frame rate results, even though you're not going to get the results you're going to get with the high-end monitor, you'll still take care of lag. The way they explained it made sense, but I don't really remember anything about what he said. I just remember I said, oh, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Damn.
Gotta get this.
That's a lot.
Set this up better.
There's a lot of like fucking tricks and tips like once you get into PCs, man. I need to figure all that shit out. But
the worst thing about PC is everything costs $50 more. It's like, oh, this video card's better, $50 more, and it's like, oh, this RAM's a little bit better, $50 more. Right. Then the monitor, then the motherboard, and next thing you know, you're like $500 over your budget.
But I mean, if you're patient, you could always just wait till sales and shit and get each piece kind of cheaper than what it usually is.
Yeah, that's patience. I don't know about that,
bro. We're halfway through our lives. We're 40 years old. Like, we're midlife, man. Like, people go, oh, he's having a midlife crisis and he's 60. I'm like, bro, nobody lives to be 120. Like, we're halfway through. If we're lucky, we're gonna get 80 years out of this thing. So I'm like, you just
spend it.
Just do it.
Spend it.
I mean, what are you gonna do with it anyway? You know what I mean? Just buy a nicer casket or something. I'm like,
What if the hookers are expensive in hell? You know what I'm saying? You gotta take your cash with you.
All the hookers in hell look like your mom.
Oh, jeez, bruh.
That's why it's hell. What were we talking about?
Don't let me get tough with you, bro. All right?
Yeah.
Don't let me get tough with you.
Man, I wish I could do that. I want to make my voice sound cool. I could just do it the old-fashioned way, bro. Listen to my tough voice, bro. Yeah, the PC rabbit hole, I think, is deep. Like I was telling Jason last night, I think you might have been listening. I can't remember if you were there too. But I was telling my wife, I go, this could be like insane amount of, like, this could be a time-sucking device. You know what I mean? Where it just like it could get crazy. I said, if I was younger, I probably would have just like dove in and spent all my time on it. But now I'm old enough to tell, like, when I'm like, okay, dude, like, you've been sitting here for several hours without moving a muscle. You got to do something else now. But yeah, it's the money, the time, the whole shebang. I could see how it can be kind of all consuming, you know?
And then there's a whole nother world of overclocking too.
Right.
I mean, that's a whole different thing also.
That's if you get like into it, you know?
And
but
it's
like
easy to do.
It's kind of hard for guys like you when you guys have a family. You got kids like nagging at you, and you know.
Bro, my kids are big enough. All they do is just want to play Fortnite. So it's like I don't even have kids anymore.
That's all the Bell wants to do.
It's kind of great. I'm like, oh, you're still here. I'm like, I haven't heard you in like 2 days. I'm like, I assumed you moved out or something. I'm like, I guess you're still here. And now I was gonna ask something. So overclocking. All right. So like my GPU says that it comes from the factory overclocked. See my air quotes? I'm gonna make sure you can see those. Overclocked. Yeah. But is that really true? Because there's still more performance to get out of it, right?
Kind of. It depends on the card. You might be able to squeeze out a little bit more. Like the 1660 starts off at a certain rate, and then the manufacturers get it and they can overclock some of the boards. So it's just like computer chips. Some overclock well, some don't. So you can use MSI Afterburner and try to mess around with it a little bit, but sometimes it'll be running fine. Then all of a sudden, like mid-game, your computer shuts down and resets, and it kind of sucks. So
it gets
so
a little.
So don't do it.
Yeah, it's a lot. You got to test it a lot, and then you find a sweet spot, and then you're good. But it's just the testing and stuff. It kind of takes up time and is a little bit annoying.
How much more performance, realistically, could I get out of my 1660 if I overclock?
Probably like I'd say another like maybe 10 frames per second. But
whatever.
I know, but like, do you really need it? Because it's a slippery slope with overclocking. Like you're like you're walking a tightrope when you're overclocking. Because like, you know, do you want to really burn out your computer that fast, or you know? Or play the game with what it gives you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's an enthusiast thing. Like you got. I mean, it's just people want to do it, but I don't know. It does make a difference if you do your computer, do your CPU and your GPU, and you find a sweet spot. Because you can also lower the voltage too, so you can actually make it run a little bit cooler than what the stock is also.
But really, like overclocking is for like more competitive players though, because those like, you know, 10 frames is like, you know, kind of important to them because the smallest advantage will help a competitor. But if you're not like, you know, high level competing and you're just playing like casually, then you don't need to overclock.
But then it's also, you can refer back to kind of like cars too. Does someone need a Hemi in their car? No. Did you get it? Yeah.
But do you really need a loud muffler on your car? You're just being a dick then.
Yeah. So, did we lose Matt?
I think we lost his vocals. Yeah. We can't hear you, Matt. What happened?
Hello.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, okay. My thing came out, and then my plug too. Yeah, I have a Hemi in my car. So what are you guys saying about people with Hemis?
Well, that's what overclocking is. It's like you don't need a Hemi in your car, but I mean,
I need that Hemi.
and sometimes I need that overclocking just because.
Now, my motherboard, what was cool, because like when I first went in there and was looking in the BIOS, my RAM, I bought the 3600 megahertz RAM. It's the quicker RAM, and it wasn't running like that. But there's these profiles. You just hit this button, and there's two different profiles. So it kind of like, it's like a preset overclock that runs, that's already tested. You don't have to mess with it. I was like, that's pretty cool. I wish the GPU had something like that. That would be nice because, you know.
Yeah, because the motherboard is set to run, I think, at 2666, I believe. And that's the default for all the like B450, I think, or all that whole series or whatever. But then you can overclock it using the XMP profile. And that's where you get up to like the 3600 based on your RAM.
Well, yeah, it's kind of funny because you're like, I bought 3600 megahertz RAM just because I wanted the RAM that was quicker. And then the motherboard's like, well, you know.
Yeah. And there's a whole issue with that. I mean, if you really want to get nerdy into it, no, not what is it? NXZT, I think. They had a big issue with it because if you were overclocking your RAM, it was voiding your warranty.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, and that's what everyone said, and so they kind of reversed their decision on that.
That's because you're altering your computer. Of course, I mean it should, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you're not like actually physically doing anything, right?
But you're buying something that's stated at 3600, but you can't actually run it at 3600. There's an issue. A bunch of people complain about it.
And that's ultra slimy. They go, here's 3600 megahertz RAM, and then they go, but when you run it, it's going to give you 1/3 less power. But then if you make it work like it's advertised, it voids your warranty.
Exactly.
Like, that's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Good old PC world, man. There's always drama going on.
Well, I mean, that's in everything, though, man. Anything electronics, bro. It's all
money.
Sketchy. Yeah.
Anything with money, bro. People get shady, dude, when it comes to, you know what I mean? Companies are like whatever they can do. If they can get it over on you and get away with it, they're going to do it. That's just, you know, the nature of the beast.
See, the next thing I need to get Matt into now is mechanical keyboards.
Oh God.
Yes.
That was stupid. I'm not spending $300 on a keyboard, dude. Ain't gonna happen.
Well, all mechanical keyboards aren't $300. I mean, you get a cheap one, but then it's just cheap.
It's a whole nother subculture of people.
I need to find a sweet spot. I want a decent one and a decent mouse, but I don't want to spend like crazy. I don't know. I think $150, $200. I should be able to get something all right. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
A good mouse is $50. That's about the price. Now you can get lower down to like 20 or 30, but I'd say about $50 to get you a really nice mouse.
Yeah, that's reasonable. And then what, a good keyboard for 100, 150?
Yeah, about that.
Because you want something sturdy. Because I don't know if you've ever. I mean, you probably have heard Jason freaking pounding his freaking keys when we're playing.
I know, dude. That's all I can hear sometimes. I can't even hear the footsteps or the gunshots. I just hear. I'm like, dang.
And I'm not even running the clicky keys either.
Now, what key? Look, can we see your keyboard? What keyboard do you have right now?
Oh, right there.
Damn.
That's like a brick. That's thick.
That's thick, but it's tiny though. That's nice.
Yeah, it's a 60%.
Now, is smaller better?
It just takes up less real estate on my desk right here. So it's that's why I kind of like it.
And now, what's your mouse look like? And after that, take me on a tour of the house. I can't see. Wait a minute. How do I didn't see that because your picture was small. How do I make your picture big? Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, look at that's all. Ooh, fancy.
It's all glowy and colorful.
That's the D also. It really is called the D.
The D. Bro, stop touching the D, dog.
Yeah. Now, how much was that mouse?
$50.
Okay. How much was that keyboard?
I think the whole thing, I got it off, can't remember the site, KP Republic, I think it was like $70 or so, but it's just it's a clear plastic case. The switches weren't the best or anything, and then just some generic keycaps. But I mean, that's the thing, you can buy keycaps that are, well, like I just bought, that are $140. So
that's what I was gonna ask you. Didn't you order like those white ones?
Yeah, they won't be here till February, I think.
Wait, what?
Damn.
Yeah.
Why so long, bro?
They got to make them.
What are they going into outer space and carving them from an asteroid or something?
For real,
that's the whole. That's what I'm saying. There's a whole.
What are they made out of? Aluminium?
Yeah. They gotta wait for a baby elephant to grow, get old, and die, and then take its tusks.
And then when you get them, you grow Wolverine claws. I mean, Jesus, dude, that's just. What? I don't know, man. They're keys, bro.
Now, is that the keys where it doesn't actually have all the icons on it too? Like some of them are like blank or something.
Yeah, it was the redacted set, and so some of the letters have strips over the top of the letters.
Like it's a top secret document.
Yeah.
Now, you said you're buying another keyboard, the one that. What? I got some sort of thing. This meeting has been upgraded. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, was I supposed to ignore that? So you said you're buying a keyboard that's like $300?
That's the key. That's the case. And let's see, it's the case, the PCB, and plate. That's just the.
And then you're gonna put your caps on that.
Yeah, and then I got to get some new switches too. I'm not sure what switches.
So when you get that keyboard, it'll be no caps.
No cap.
Look how young and hip I am. I'm Gucci, bro.
That's so
I'm Gucci. I'm lit.
Hey, stay lit. Stay lit.
I'm lit up on Gucci,
dude. Yeah. Oh my God, you're making us feel old, bro. Stop it,
dude. And it's taken like 3 cups of coffee just to get to this. Like 60% energy level. I'm all.
But that, I mean, hey, it's good. We did like freaking like I think that's about almost 30 minutes right there, and I think half of the audience probably doesn't even know what the hell we're talking about.
Who watches this anyway? Who's been watching this besides Morgan?
I don't know, dude, but I mean, the view count's been growing ever since I've gotten co-hosts or guests on the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everyone gets tired of just watching me like talk shit about nothing. But whenever there's a guest on, like I get a pretty good high amount of views on it. So I don't know.
We need to get some celebrities.
But like I think this is the first episode where like the whole conversation has been like technical. So I don't know how long people's gonna last, dude.
Yeah, this is a bit all over the place.
Well, what do you think about that new that Batman? Are you looking for that, or you didn't think it looked good?
To me, bro, it didn't look good. I don't know. I mean, well, no, the thing is, okay, it looks okay. It looked okay, but it wasn't exciting. Like when I saw like the trailers for like the Nolan Batmans and even for like Batman v Superman and Justice League and shit, that shit looked really like exciting and like I was hyped for it, right?
Right.
Even if the movie ended up being terrible, the trailer was like I was hyped. But this one, I watched it and I was just like, meh. Whatever. I don't know.
This one's a one-off too, right? This one isn't going to start some new universe or anything. It's just a one-off. I think just like the Joker movie, this isn't going to be.
That's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're going to try to turn it into a trilogy?
I mean, you never know, dude. It's DC. They go all over the place with their shit, man.
I feel like turning everything into a trilogy is kind of a good and bad thing. Sometimes when you got a really excellent movie and then it gets a trilogy, like it's really hard, like The Matrix. The first one, when I watched The Matrix, dude, that was like 98. When I came out of it, because they didn't tell you anything about it. It was really kind of cool the way they're just like the commercials were like just like that green print, and it was like, what is The Matrix? And so it was one of those things where I was like, well, what is The Matrix? I'm gonna go watch this movie. So I went and watched it, and when I left, I was like, holy shit, that was one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah,
like that movie I was so pumped up, and I was like, this is amazing. But then they came out with the second one, which was like, oh, okay. It was that fight scene with the 1,000 Smiths was so awful with the CGI. Like,
yeah,
that scene should have been made now, not 15, 20 years ago, because the tech wasn't ready for that scene.
Nah.
And then part 3 was just like,
trash.
So you had this trilogy. Yeah. And you had this trilogy where one movie was so stupid good that the other two, even if they were really good, there's just no way they're going to compare. And it's kind of the same thing with the Batman trilogy. That second one, The Dark Knight, was so fucking good. There's just no way that third one was going to be able to stand up to that, because Heath Ledger's Joker and just the whole thing was just so good. So it's like, I don't know, with this trilogy thing, I'm like, I'm kind of all for these one-offs. Like, if this new Batman, if it's like, just make one cool movie. It doesn't always have to be this trilogy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, but if we're comparing though, the Batman trilogy was way better than the Matrix trilogy.
Yeah.
If you went one movie only, I don't know, dude.
No,
I mean, The Dark Knight was amazing.
You gotta combine.
I'm a Batman freak. Since I was 9 years old when the first Batman movie came out, I was like, that's my favorite all time. But that Matrix movie was so different and amazing. Like, it was, to me, that changed movies. Like the Matrix, it changed action. Like, the Batman movies couldn't have happened without the Matrix movie. To me, the fighting, look at the fighting style. That when that Matrix movie came out, like, the fighting style was so different. And if you watch Batman, the Batman Begins, the Batman trilogy, look at the way he fights. There's a lot of the Matrix in that. Like, it changed, the Matrix to me changed the way action movies are done. So, I don't know.
Could be. But I'm combining all three trilogies though. I don't know. I mean, all three.
As a whole, as a set, the Batman one was better.
Mm-hmm.
But if you took the best movie out of each one,
I'm like, it'll go to Matrix.
I think it would, dude. And I'm a dude. I used to have stacks of Batman comic books. I've watched even the horrible Batman and Robin, which is like the trashiest movie ever made in existence. Everybody who's involved with that film should have gotten like 4 or 5 years of like prison or something, just because it was so bad. But like,
Jeez.
but like, yeah, that Matrix movie, dude. Even to this day, if I watch that movie, I'm still like going, God damn, this is good. Like this was just. Like, it was just a game changer, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know they're going to ruin the whole series. Well, not whole series, but ruin everything with Matrix
again,
4.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
I wonder what that's going to... What are they doing?
Well, it all depends on how it is, though. But with their track record, though, it's going to be awful, man.
Yeah, see, I'm wondering if it's going to be... Is it going to be the Matrix, or is it going to be the... dude, what is that city called? Zion, yeah. Or is it going to be just Zion? You know what I mean?
No, because he was in his Neo, the picture I saw.
Uh-huh.
And that not Carrie Fisher, what was her name? Carrie Moss?
I can't remember. I know.
What was Trinity's name? Carrie Ann Moss, right?
I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Anyway, we'll go with that.
Trinity, I saw her. She's in it. No, but didn't she died in that last one. Remember she died? The Neo...
But he's Neo.
Part of a machine thing.
But he's Neo. He probably brought her back.
See, that's what I mean. I want. Hopefully they don't release anything about the movie. You just got to go see it.
But here's the thing, though, dude. The Wachowski sisters, or whatever you want to call them, like the stuff they've been making lately, it's just like it seemed like they took too much drugs. And they're just trying to like make something to fit that drug reality or whatever.
Right, they're trying to make something to fit that their trip. They're like,
because like they've just been going like further and further and further out into this like weird realm of like freaking like science fiction and shit, right? Like I think the best thing they ever did was Matrix 1, and because it wasn't too fantastic, but it was fantastic enough to like make you go like, holy shit, that was fucking amazing. But you know, I feel like
it was like the perfect action movie. It was like the perfect blend of action, sci-fi, just the whole thing, dude. Like that last scene where, like, I mean, just that whole last sequence when Neo gets shot and killed. Spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen The Matrix in the last 45 years. But and he's laying there and he's all dead. And she's like, "Oh, I love you." And he's like, "Oh yeah, bro." And he comes back, and then he does all that like he's all like zenned out. And he fucks up the Smiths or whatever, and you're like, "Oh my god, okay, that's enough." And then at the end, he hangs up the phone and he fucking flies away. You're like, "Come on, dude!" Like it was like, you're just like, "Oh my god!" It got you so hyped for the next movie that it was like, it was like, "Oh my god, he's gonna fly!" And then the next movie came out. Oh, and just dude,
it was disappointing. Dude. It was disappointing.
So bad. It was just, I don't know what the fuck they were. And then the people they added, those freaky albino twins. You know what I mean?
Because I remember watching The Matrix 1 and just being amazed all the way through. And then watching The Matrix 2 and like going, what the fuck am I watching? Like, it was so polar opposite, dude.
They felt like they had to, I think they were like, you know what? We have to go bigger and top this. And the problem was the technology wasn't there. Do you know what I mean?
True.
To go bigger, like
because they introduced that new technology on the first Matrix of the bullet time cameras and shit.
All that stuff.
And they're like, how do we top bullet time? And then I don't know. They just like went nuts with it. I don't know.
I wish that they would redo part 2 and 3. Go pretend like they never existed. And make them now, so now the technology is far enough along to actually create their vision. And then the first 10 minutes of the movie is just like an apology note. And it's like, we're sorry for part 2 and 3. It was super trash. We did a lot of drugs. We made a lot of bad decisions. And this is like just pretend like those movies never happened. And here's the real sequel to The Matrix. You're welcome. You know what I mean?
You're welcome.
if that's even possible. Man.
Wait, what? Who's doing that right now? What is it? Justice League? Is it Justice League?
The Snyder Cut or whatever.
Snyder Cut?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't. Even if they come out with the Snyder Cut, I don't think they could have. I don't think they could make the Justice League better. That shit was just bad. I don't see what they could do to it to make it good or better. I don't know.
And you can tell when they changed the tone, like you could tell like they were like in the DC was always like the DC universe was always kind of darker anyway. To me, like it was always more gritty. It was always a bit more like kind of in that realm where Marvel was much brighter and flashier and superheroes are flying around making funny jokes and everybody was so like to me like and then people were like, oh, it's too dark. It's too dark. And they were saying that about the Dark Knight. And I'm like the studio, like the producers and the directors need to be like, fuck you. Like, we don't care what you think. I'm going to make this movie. And then when it comes out, like it or don't. But they changed that movie the last, like, I don't know, quarter. And you could tell there was this tonal shift when they were trying to make it lighter. And they wanted to make it like a Marvel movie. It fucking ruined the movie. Dude, Batman is like a fucking vigilante. His parents got murdered. And his whole life is dedicated to beating the shit out of bad people. Like, it's not like he's not Spider-Man. He's not a teenager who's swinging around webs and he's like, oh, look at this funny joke while I kick you in the face. It's like, no, he's like fucked up in the head. Like in the comic books from like the 50s and 60s, it got real bleached out and horrible. And then the comic books in the 70s followed along with the movies where shit got real dark. And that's when the best Batman stuff was written. From about 73 all the way through. Once they said, you know what? Fuck all this Batman and Robin and Bath Paul and Zang and all that bullshit. They're like, we're gonna go deep and we're gonna go hard. And once they did that, dude, it was like, okay, that's what that character is. So the DC films, it should have been like that. Like it's not, you know what I mean? And like Superman at the end was rolling around on the ground with the cyborg and they're laughing. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Dude. It was just, I don't know. That's like the Marvel stuff. I was never a big Marvel fan, so I like the movies as they are because I don't really have anything vested. I didn't read 1,000 comic books of Marvel, but I read a ton of the DC stuff. So when I see the movie and they just can't just do it the way it's supposed to be, people are gonna like it or they don't.
Here's where I think Marvel kind of did better than DC is because Marvel actually, and I'm talking like Marvel proper, like the Disney Marvel. They actually followed like the comics, like not to the T, but they
pretty close though.
Yeah, pretty close. Whereas DC, for some weird reason, wants to do these artsy fartsy, like nowhere near the comic book stories at all. It's just the name and the character. Like, oh, we're gonna take Batman, we're gonna take Wonder Woman, but we're not gonna do anything close to the comic. We're just gonna I'm gonna make up this whole like crazy weird shit like. And then hope you guys like it. And then that's where the divide comes because then you have like the film fans who like never read a comic in their life and they're like, oh, it's pretty good. And then you got the comic fan is like, what the fuck is that? Like you just ruined my superhero. You know,
ruined my childhood, man. Hey, do you remember, Gabe, that Bloodlines story that like in DC? Do you remember that? It was probably in the mid 90s. Where it was like that, I forgot exactly. It was some sort of weird creature that was like basically like infecting all the superheroes, but it was like it went through the whole DC universe, and it was this thing, and it would create like this alternate. Like it was crazy, dude. That was a cool ass thread. I mean, it was big, and it went for like a long time. But I was like, but there's a lot of good ones in the DC side. There was a lot of good, especially Batman, dude. There was this one series called Venom. They actually made like a whole side comic book, and it was about Batman, like the drugs that Bane was supposed to be on this drug called Venom, and that's what created that crazy super strength. And he would inject himself. It was basically like super steroids. And Batman came across that shit before he ever met Bane, and something happened. Oh, that's right. He's trying to save some little girl. And she was stuck under this like big piece of concrete, and he couldn't lift it. So she drowned in front of him. He watched her drown. See, dark as shit, right? Yeah. He watched this little girl die. So he goes back to the Batcave, and and he's Batman, so he's just all like fucking pissed off and sad. And so he finds this drug, and he starts fucking taking steroids, basically. Dude. and he starts fucking people up because he's got roid rage and his little balls shrink up. They don't fill out his little tights anymore, and he's like super mad. And he's just like fucking people up. And in one scene, he's like so ripped, like he's like screaming or whatever, and his fucking shirt rips because he's so like bulging with muscle, and he's like just beating this guy to a pulp. Like, dude, that would be an awesome storyline for a movie. Like Batman on roids.
Dude, there's a lot of those old storylines that would have been perfect for a movie, and I don't know why they don't just like pick one. Like it's all there. Like like
all been written.
Yeah, it's all been written, and it could make a great movie. I don't know what their problem is, why they can't just choose one of those storylines and just make the movie.
They're trying to please everyone.
You know, but they're trying to find they get these directors that just want to like do their own thing, you know?
I know that too.
I don't know. Like,
I'm an artist. I'm not gonna follow comic book drivel.
Just like they ruined Star Wars.
I mean, I'm not gonna hate because that last Joker movie was like pretty good, like crazy. really good. But like that's what they've done. Like they find these directors like, I want to make a Joker movie, but it's a one-off, and I'm never gonna do it again. You know, like what the fuck, you know, like just...
This movie will be a one-off, and it will never be again. Like a cloud in the sky, unique like a snowflake.
But like, dude, because even the Joker has like very good storylines.
Oh hell yeah,
dude! Yeah. Like amazing storylines. Like you could pick any one of them, and it will make a great ass fucking movie. I don't know. It's weird. DC is just fucking weird. I mean,
I agree.
You know,
something's going on in Warner Brothers. Yeah, everything they do about their properties, everything they do, the TV stuff. Yeah, it's just weird.
See, right now would be a perfect time for Netflix to pick up some DC lines and start making series.
But Warner won't let them. Warner's weird, especially with Batman, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Batman's their bread and butter. They won't let Batman. Like, remember that Batman TV show Gotham where?
Oh yeah.
Batman was in it for the last like 30 seconds of the last episode. Mm-hmm. Like they won't let Batman be in a TV show, and I'm like, bro, have you seen the Flash TV show? The special effects have come so far that the Flash on a TV show looks as good as a movie. I'm like, dude, could you imagine a freaking live action Batman with the tech we have now? It'd be amazing.
Yep. Well, those things are just perfect for Netflix. I mean, it just bust out 10 episodes.
If they did like a Daredevil style show with the Batman, it would be off the hook, dude. Like I don't know why they won't do that. It is Warner Brother has some weird relationship with their property. Like I don't know, it's weird. It's dumb because they'll let you do a show about the Batman, but you can't use the Batman character.
No, you could just talk about, you know, like, oh yeah, there's a guy out, he's kicking some people's asses, he's dressed like a bat. You can't show him. Yeah, they need to get it together, bro. Netflix is the best for this stuff. Like Netflix, any of the streaming services. I think DC has their own freaking streaming service now, don't they? They do.
Yeah, but dude, half of their shows are actually, a lot of their shows are like half of it's good and half of it's bad. I don't know, like.
Well, I know, but I'm saying is they have a platform.
Yeah, they do have a platform.
So stick Batman on it.
But they need a big budget platform though. They need some.
Yeah, I don't think they have. Yeah, I don't think they have the budget to do like a good show yet.
True.
Yeah, they need
comic books, dude. That's the. The circulation has gone down to like nothing, dude. There's hardly anything in print anymore,
dude.
You know what I mean?
Especially with like fucking COVID going around too. Like the comic book shop is basically dead in the waters, you know? Like it was dying before and it was like kind of barely like afloat, breathing a little bit. But now with this whole COVID thing, dude, it's basically dead. Like,
well, Comic-Con is just cosplay and movie premieres. It's crazy.
Because everything's kind of gone digital, dude. Like everyone's getting digital comics now and shit. And
it's not the same, bro.
It's not,
dude. The way a comic book smells when you first get it, all those cancerous gases, all those cancerous inks, and you're like, and you inhale it deeply, and you're just like, oh, and then you like read it, and you could feel like the way the paint. Dude, there's paint. Something. It's just something visceral. Like when I read a book, my wife bought a Kindle thing or whatever, the Amazon book reader. Is it Kindle? I don't even know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was reading for a few pages, and I was like, this is okay, but dude, holding a book in your hand, I'm like, it's just something else. And I understand trees and blah, 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 and I get it. But it's still, at the end of the day, like holding a book, and like a comic book is the same way. And then like when I was young and I got like into I had the Mylar, you know, the thing, you put it in the Mylar, you keep it all nice.
Bro,
I don't know.
I still have a case, and it all has Mylar, and it has some of my
awesome.
like best like finds in there. Like,
yeah,
you know,
man.
but I think it's just because we're old school. We grew up with that, like we experienced it, so like it's like kind of like we hold it like with us. But the new generation, you know, they're like, fucking, I'll read a comic on my phone. You know, like you know, I'll read a book on my phone. You know,
like,
what
I feel too?
They don't care. They don't care for the physicals yet anymore.
I feel like our generation is the last with like the old school, because we had tech, but it was early tech when we were young. And like, I don't know, I just feel like we're the last generation to not really come up with this stuff. Like we had Nintendo and we had Genesis. By the time we could make them, it wasn't like video games in the digital world, and internet didn't really become a real thing until we became adults. So we had the old ways of doing stuff. And then the kids now, though, like, you know, the kids are born. They're born with the computers and phones. And it's just kind of like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of stuff that's going to die with us. Like, there's a lot of traditions, stuff that when we all finally die off, I think there's a lot of stuff's going to die.
It happens with every generation, though.
No,
it's already dying. A lot of stuff is already dying.
Yeah. Well, I just say there's a lot of stuff we did that had been carried on through multiple, not just stuff that's unique to our generation, but things that were passed down from who knows how far back, 1,000 years. But like we were coming of age, like just when the digital age.
Yeah.
So now every generation forward is indoctrinated into the digital age from day one. It's just it's a different philosophy. I don't know. So I'm like, when we start kicking off, it's gonna be, I don't know. Who knows what's gonna be the future? But I don't know. So I hope you're all thoroughly depressed now.
And that's kind of a good note to kind of end on. We've done an hour. Can you guys believe it? It's been in a fucking hour. But yes, I like to kind of try to keep the episodes to about an hour.
Good. And send this to Warner Brothers and tell them to get their fucking shit together. I'm talking to you.
Wait, actually, I'll take care of that.
Yeah, Jason will tell him on the next board meeting.
Yeah, next board meeting.
Well.
Yeah. I'm on the board of a lot of stuff.
I'm on the board of
he's on the Call of Duty board.
Yeah.
And we get bored a lot too.
Hey. But yeah, it's been an hour.
So with that said,
ooh, sexy.
People, don't forget, if you like this episode, hit that like, hit that subscribe. And with that said, we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Yeah, like it or we'll find you and we'll beat you to death. I mean, just like it.
Just like it, please. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you liked the video you guys just watched. And if you did, please do not hesitate to hit that like button and that subscribe button. And then tell a friend. And if you guys want to see more videos, check them out below. I should have 2 other videos to check out. We have other stuff to see on this channel. And with that said, we thank you guys all for watching. And we'll check you guys out laters.